Hi everyone, I'm just recording this video today to answer your question that you posed this morning about the equivalent fraction question. You're right, it is a challenge, but I've prepared something to show you how to work your way through that. So if you just wait a moment, I'll just share my screen so that you can see the question as we go through it. Okay, so here is the sheet that you sent. This is all about equivalent fractions. If you don't know what those are, I'll give a quick example as I go through, but I'm assuming as it's a challenge, you've already done some easier work on equivalent fractions. And so you do know the method. I'll put the odd one in as we go, just to remind you in case. So question 1, these fractions have been ordered from the smallest to the largest. What could the missing fraction be? So what we have to do here is change all these to equivalent fractions, which means changing each fraction to one of the equivalent value so that all the fractions have the same denominator. I would just pick the tenths here as the denominator of choice. I don't want currently to go into the method for knowing which denominator. If you don't know, that's probably another video. So I've just done one here. So the 2/5 we change by changing the fifth to tenths there. We multiply that by 2. Therefore, we must multiply the numerator by 2, which gives you 4/10 as the equivalent for 2/5. Treat each of the fractions in the same way, multiplying by different numbers where you need to, so that always you have tenths as your denominator. And you will then find that everything can easily be compared because you're only talking about tenths. And when you do that, a gap will appear between the equivalent for it's a half and is that 2/5? Anyway, between those two, where the gap is, that you will see there's a number of tenths that will sit nicely in the middle. Question 2. Mo has put these fractions in ascending order. So again, you're going to have to find the equivalent fractions for each of those so that the denominator is always the same. Now, what makes this difficult, I think, and a challenge, is the denominator is so big. You have to go to 180ths, and that's quite a challenge and not easy to spot. But once you know that, it's just normal method, though I have kindly given a couple for you here. So 7/20ths to get to 180ths, you've got to multiply by 9. On the 45ths, you've got to multiply by 4. That's all. You've got to do it yourself now. But that's how to do it. So multiply each of those up to get to 180 on the bottom and multiply the numerator by the same multiplier. Then you will have 180ths, which you can easily compare, and you will then see that two of them are in the wrong order and need to be switched around. That's the mistake. The next one is with a diagram, a kind of bar representation here, and the challenge here is again to find a common denominator. Now with this one it's different because rather than multiply up the denominator you've been given, you're going to simplify down. So all of these fractions can be switched to an equivalent with a denominator of 9. 9 is the common factor for all those multipliers. 9 is a factor of 27, 63, and 45. That isn't 16, that's 18. So all of them can be divided by 9, and then if you change them all to express them as ninths, it then becomes very easy to put them in order. And I think we have one more. Yes. Oh, now this one. I think what is wanted here is looking at it. You've only got let's see, halves, quarters, sixths, eighths, 12ths. You have got quite a few 16ths, 24ths. So somehow you've got to get that down to the order grid of 5 by 5. So you're going to have to put all of those fractions into the same denominator. So that looks like the biggest one here in terms of numbers, but of course the smallest in terms of size is 48ths. So I think everything has to be changed to 48ths. if you can. If that doesn't work, you're going to have to go up again, hence the challenge to find the lowest common denominator that will work for all these fractions. I'll leave you to find that. And if you're not sure of the method to do that, then do ask and I will come back with that in another video. I hope this helps, Rachel. Thank you so much for putting this on here, and I hope this helps you and your friends with this one. Come back to me if anything doesn't make sense. Thanks a lot. I just need to stop recording, so thank you.